Are you tired of trying to create consistent content every week only to be stopped by a bunch of things in your schedule? And would you like to know how I posted 21 pieces of content in the last 7 days? In fact, it's probably more. I had content for my site, videos across my different YouTube channels got out, and more. I'm not even counting my tweets. Today, I'm going to share with you a biblical success principle that helps me turn one piece of content into 30 pieces of content. I'm going to share 2 things you should start doing ASAP if you want to post consistent content like me. And I'm not overwhelmed or stressed out. In fact, I actually want to post more. But if you don't get this one thing first, you'll never get anywhere near posting that much content. In the first business I started, I eventually started making thousands of dollars a month, and it all started with strangers watching pieces of content like this. They would then see I could help them, would follow what I say and get results, and then they would pay me hundreds, even thousands of dollars. It was simple. But without the first piece of content, this didn't work. So I know how important you posting consistent content is. But one of the things that held me back at first was creating the content without being held down by commitments. Anytime I wanted to start a new task, which I knew was worthwhile, a big question would arise. I'd love to do that, but how am I going to do all of this by myself? I can't. And that was the end of the game. Because when you think about doing things by yourself, there's only so much you can do. And this is where the biblical principle comes in. There's so many examples of this in the Bible, but one sticks out to me crystal clear. In the book of Exodus, we are introduced to Moses, the man who God chose to lead his people out of slavery in Egypt. God works magnificent miracles through him and rescues them from their pain. And when Moses leads the people out, God wants him to build this glorious building. It's covered in gold and silver on the inside, but you never know from the outside. It's a mobile tent. They set it up and then they take it down as they go. It's kind of like how a circus will build up their show and take it down as they move to the next location. But there was so much gold and other valuable items involved. God wanted this to look magnificent. So much so that he gave Moses the blueprints. But not only did God give Moses the blueprints for the design, he said to him, Moses, make sure you design it like I showed you. Now, if I was Moses, I would have asked that same question I used to ask myself. I'd love to do that, God. But how am I going to do all of this by myself? I can't. But Moses is a great leader, so he doesn't ask this question. He knows he cannot do it alone. For 6 chapters in Exodus, God is running through all the designs, and then God says something which changes the game. In Exodus 31, verse 1-3, it says, And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship. Moses didn't try to build this great thing by himself. He got people who were highly skilled for the job. And that was what made the final product great. I could only imagine what it would look like if I was recording this video, editing it, and then designing the thumbnail as well. It would look nowhere near as good, and I'd never be able to post all the content I do, raise a family, and have time for other things in life. The content is my thing. The editing, no. The thumbnail, no. Those last 2 are not where I'm skilled. And the great thing is, I don't have to be. Just like Moses had Bezalel and the other people, getting help is the best thing that you can do. I know you've considered hiring someone, but actually do it. I speak to people often who are just like you. They manage their house well, manage people at work well too. Managing this is exactly the same. Imagine doing everything at work right now. What would happen? That's exactly what's happening to you in your content business. Without the people helping you, you cannot get the first step in place that allows you to take flight. Without the content, you will stay grounded. Recently, I offered thousands of people on my email list the opportunity to join me on the recording for a new product called Create Crowds Quickly. I had not recorded it yet. I did not create it yet. I gave them the opportunity to pay only $27 to see how I got thousands of people to find me, comment on my videos, and start buying in 90 days or less. If it was something they were willing to pay for, they could join me live and watch me show them what I did for 90 minutes. And when 1 hour one-on-ones are $2,000, $27 was a steal. The recording went well. Nobody asked for a refund, and the feedback was all positive. Now, we're just deciding if we should leave it at that price for everyone else, sell it for $97 or $197. Comment and let me know below which price makes sense for a product that shows people how I got thousands of people to find me, comment on my videos, and the opportunity for them to start buying from me in 90 days or less. The more videos I create like this, the more people who will buy that product. It makes sense then to get help to make these videos. And like I just said, you don't have to have a finished product. You just have to offer people to come and join you as you share the materials. You don't even have to offer a lower price. This is one reason an editor is valuable to you. This way you can think more about products and services your audience needs to get the results that they want. And I know what you're thinking. I'll tell you the same thing I tell people in Create Crowds Quickly. You don't have to pay hundreds of dollars for an editor. If you treat them well, there are skilled editors who would love to work for you for much less. Go on websites like Fiverr and Upwork. You won't regret it. And this is the best thing. They don't have to edit every video. You can start with them on a part-time basis. Imagine if next week, the main thing that you had to do was just record your content. Then you gave it to an editor. They edited it and sent it back to you looking 10 times better than you ever could. And then you publish it. Then next week you edit it. Then the week after they edit it. My point is, so many people hold themselves back because they think this is a full-time commitment, but it's not, unless you both agree that it is. My editor for this channel gets all my videos. We are both happy with that. He creates hundreds of hours for me to focus on this right here, making sure this content is the best it can be. This will be a decision you thank me for in the future. Merely by doing this, you'll create so much more content and your content will be consistent and good. No more lastminute.com edit jobs just to get it out. So the first thing to create consistent content, even when you're busy, is get the right people to help you build something great. Next, the other day on my day off, an idea came to me, which I thought was good. I made a note in my phone and planned to explore it when I was back to work. If it worked out, it would take 2 pieces of content and multiply it into basically about 20 pieces of content. Do you remember how I said earlier? And it all started with strangers watching pieces of content like this. They would then see I could help them, would follow what I say and get results. And then they would pay me hundreds, even thousands of dollars. It was simple. But without the first piece of content, this didn't work. It all starts with the content. Once you have this, you can do so much with it. I take the transcript from my video and get AI artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to add headers to my transcript so it can be a blog post on my website. That prompt works in a matter of seconds because the content is already made. Then get AI to pull out 20 lines from your transcript which are tweetable. So for example, like 10 seconds ago I said I take the transcript from my video and get AI artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to add headers to my transcript so it can be a blog post on my website. That is tweetable. It can pull 20 things like that out of my transcript. Mind blown. Why 20? There's no special reason. That was just a number I did in the beginning, but it gets better. If you create content the right way, you not only have tweetables, you have shareables. What are shareables, Israel? These are parts of the video which should be clipped and posted on Instagram as reels. So I get AI to pick out 30 to 60 second clips from the transcript which are simple, inspirational and actionable. Sharing all this is giving me the idea to create a product called something like infinite content, how I create 20 pieces of content for every 1 piece of content I create and build a large following with ease. Let me know actually if you'd be interested in that. But here's an example of a clip from a previous piece of content. Imagine you are at a conference with thousands of people and this guy right next to you is choking to death from food stuck in his throat. You're the only one who knows how to do the Heimlich, but you're afraid to do it in front of everyone. Then more and more people start dropping out around you. You wouldn't let them die because you know that's evil. You'd put your fear aside and save their lives. That is exactly what it's like when you share what only you can for the people God sent you to serve. You give them life. You can tell your editor to make these for you. You can do it yourself after the video is done. There's even AI tools that can do this for you. But either way, the content is made already. Now it's just about turning it into more. This is called content recycling or content repurposing. But this is one of the ways how you appear everywhere online and deliver value to people without breaking the bank or killing yourself in the process. So the second thing to create content consistently, even when busy, is to multiply what you have instead of thinking you always need to make something new. It's like when Jesus fed the 4,000 or the 5,000. He could have done it with nothing, but he showed us a wise principle. Take what you have and multiply it with God's power and wisdom. At this point, you know exactly how to create much more content than most of the people on the planet. All you need to do now is create the content. And if you want to know how to make content that is easy to make, captivates your audience and creates cash for you, watch this video next. Go win and God bless.